Students, last day we have talked about Aristotle and we have seen like what are the Aristotle concept of state and how he compared the state with an organic state. And in the second part we have seen the types of things that Aristotle used to preach. Okay, then what he meant by golden mean, and what are the types of like people, like what are the backgrounds from which Aristotle has been raised up, how he has given up various concepts. So we have gone through those. If you have followed the last video, which is there in the playlist, you can also check those who have not followed. Okay, so today we will be talking about, okay, last day I have given a homework for you all. Like I have asked you to mention the name of school which Aristotle, like school means the institute which Aristotle has created for his higher learnings. So many of you, I think, know the answer, but still I am writing it. It's Lyceum. Okay, Lyceum is the school. So this is the school where Aristotle used to teach philosophy, physics, ethics, metaphysics and all. So here the students used to learn about various subjects. Okay, so apparently last we have talked about some important discussions, and those discussions were made on the basis of like what we will be discussing today, that is Aristotle's concept of citizenship. So by citizenship, so this is our today's concept, that is citizenship. So who is a citizen, first of all? So who is a citizen? Whenever we term the word citizen, citizens means the people belonging to that particular state. So the people who are resident of a particular state is called citizen. But here we are not exemplifying what is citizen, but what is Aristotle's definition of citizenship. Here Aristotle has categorized a broad section about peoples, those who fall under the sphere of citizens. Aristotle meant only men. This is very important, write it. Only men who are physically and mentally sound falls under citizens. Here we will not be talking about whom, like whom he has exempted, like so Aristotle has exempted women, children, slaves, elderly, bracket, and so Aristotle has basically mentioned women, children, slaves, elderly, especially the older persons, and persons cannot acquire citizenship. So why they cannot acquire citizenship, you have to understand from this. Because see, Aristotle used to think that women were weak at the time. Okay, weak means they are vulnerable. vulnerable to what, like when the armies marches, they comes with swords, and obviously you know that men are far more stronger physically to that of women. However, the concept has been changed in the modern era, so women have also been participating in war and all. But during Aristotle time, so women were prone to attack, they were killed, they were murdered. And so since they do not have a direct participation or training to that of physical efficiency or training during war, so women were barred or they are not skipped, they are not taken into consideration, because only those people, so only those people, those who are like only those people, those who are means what to say, physically and mentally able, they will only physically and mentally able means those who can wage war. Okay, Aristotle indirectly meant the peoples, those who will also be able to take part in wars when the state is in need, because every time the state will not find soldiers out of everywhere. Obviously the citizens, those who will be a citizen, those who will be the citizens, they will also be the soldiers. So soldiers, there is no division. Like Aristotle says that the citizens will also take part into policy making, and if in need, the citizens will also get into war. Get into war with whom? Against the enemies, those who are coming. So obviously elderly peoples, they are not physically that strong, so they are kept aside. And for those who are not physically and mentally, the physically challenged peoples and mentally challenged people, they will not be able to wage war, so they will fall victim. So these are the things which Aristotle meant that these peoples has to be exempted from citizenship. So on the other hand, if you will look, Aristotle has also meant foreigners, especially the aliens. Aliens means whom, like aliens means the people who comes from distant land. It's not the one who comes from space. Okay, this is not what I meant by foreigners. It's the people who comes from like different country, so they also cannot be citizens. Spared So what is the duty of a citizen? Okay, now we will be talking about the duties of a citizen. So Aristotle meant that the citizens So by citizenship, Aristotle meant that you have to understand, like the citizen should play an active role in the state, because they even need to participate into policy making. This is very important, policy making is very important. Like what are the policies a state makes, for that the citizens need to be there. Okay, they need to be in policy making. And also see, now the citizens will also not only form policies, they will also do what? They will also wage war. Okay, war against what? Against the enemies. Like the citizens are the male persons, the able bodies, so they can also protect the state from enemies intervention. So this is all about citizenship, which Aristotle has meant. Okay, now we will be categorizing what? Now we will be categorizing our another domain, and that is about you can say that types of government. This is very important. Like, what are the types of government Aristotle has mentioned? Aristotle was the sole person who has researched about how many constitutions? Has researched and written 158 constitutions. This is very important. You have to mark how many constitution Aristotle has written. He has basically 158 constitutions which Aristotle has researched upon. Okay, so this is very vital for your exams. Like, see, a person who has the knowledge of 158 constitutions, how much knowledge does he carry? Okay, and he talked about various types of government. Okay, various types of government means democracy, because democracy at that time was like the mob rule basically. Then here we have monarchy. Then we have what then these are the two types: democracy, monarchy. So democracy is opposite or perverted form is tyranny. See, now you have to understand, like, democracy means which is ruled by people, and tyranny means what? Which is ruled by only one person. Okay, like if it is a dictator or someone who has a complete like control over the people, like he is very much less careful about what people wants and he does whatever he wants, a tyrant. Okay, now monarchy means a government which is run by king, so its perverted form is aristocracy. So what is monarchy? Monarchy means the state which is run by king or queen. Okay, earlier it was king only. So aristocracy means what? Here a cabinet will be there. Cabinet will be meant for only those people, like those who are meritorious, especially they will run the state. Here the king will not rule. Okay, so these are the types of government which Aristotle has talked about and we have seen. So about this government, so Aristotle, what kind of government? Like Plato has obviously given an option for what? Plato has opined for like a monarchy which will be basically run by a philosopher king. So Plato has already talked about monarchy. Okay, but we have seen during the time of Socrates it was democracy. Okay, democracy means the mob rule which has put Socrates into trial. So Aristotle says that his government will be something which will be a judicious mixture of all. So Aristotelian government judicious mixture of all means you will take elements from all the four governments. You can see there are four types of government and he will combine it so that he can he can bring out the flaws. Bring out the flaws means he do not take the negative things and he can accommodate accordingly. So this is I think this is clear up to this. I have divided the video into two parts because Aristotle is a huge one, and to this I think it is clear to you. From this I made a very small explanation to this so that you don't find a problem out of anything. And this is the thing which you have to keep in mind. So here we are ending ending this session, and apparently we are also talking about, and here also we are talking about other dimensions, like what are the things Aristotle has meant through citizenship, through an organic evolution of state, through means like various concept about representative government which is asked. There is no other questions which is asked from Aristotle. So this is the thing which you have to know. You have to mention like you have to remember who was Aristotle's student. Okay, apparently I have to give another information, like Aristotle was also a tutor. Means Aristotle used to teach Alexander the Great. Okay. So who was Alexander the Great? The conqueror of the world. Okay, like he has conquered everyone, every states. The conqueror of the world is known as Alexander the Great. So Aristotle was a teacher of Alexander the Great. So from which country Alexander is to belong? He is to belong from Macedonia. So this is the entire explanation which I have made for you. Hope you all find it helpful. And if you need any other things like which I have to discuss. So in our next class, we will be talking about social contract, about the three contractualists, and then we will be also talking about Renaissance, Machiavelli and all. Okay, so let's divide the topic into various parts. So next day I will bring up a video for social contract, what is social contract, what is state of nature and all. So hope you will find it very helpful for your preparations for your exams. So let's meet into a new video. Thank you.